Hey there, my name's Kay, and I wanted to do a video just like a little love letter to Zelda Breath of the Wild. With Tears of the Kingdom coming out in just a couple of days, I wanted to look back on my experience with Zelda as a game franchise and Breath of the Wild in particular, and just kind of thank it for its service, kind of Marie Kondo style. So I know that a large part of my audience here on my channel is here for Animal Crossing, cozy games, Stardew Valley. However, The Legend of Zelda is indeed my very favorite of Nintendo's franchises, even above Animal Crossing. Sorry, Animal Crossing. So I was first introduced to video games as an entire concept in the early 80s with my father had an Atari, and then in 1986 I know that the NES was introduced to the United States. I don't think that I got my NES in 86. I may have gotten my NES in like the holiday season of 1986. In 1986, I was 10 years old and really loved playing Super Mario Brothers and Metroid. In 1987, I think, these aren't the exact dates, but in 1987, I do remember getting a very beautiful gold cartridge. I still actually have this cartridge. I don't know if this works anymore. It probably doesn't. I do actually still have my NES, which I know does not work anymore. It's worth getting repaired, but look at how beautiful the cartridge is. It didn't matter if I was kind of bad at the game. It didn't matter that I couldn't get through all of the dungeons. All that mattered was I know that I had the most fun playing this game because I loved to explore. In the original game, there was no tutorial, there was no real instruction. They just drop you off in the middle of the map and you go into a little cave and you talk to an old man and he says, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this." You take a sword and you're on your way. And I remember spending many weekends when I was bored. I was an only child, so I played video games a lot, and I spent a lot of weekends just trying to get through all of the dungeons. I remember one weekend I was really dedicated, and I think I got to the 7th dungeon, and then I think I may have rage quit, but I still really enjoyed playing it. And then when The Legend of Zelda 2 came out, I also enjoyed going around and exploring. This time you got to talk to a lot of townspeople. I do have a lot of issues with that game. I don't think it's that great, but I did enjoy it nonetheless. I thought it was just too difficult. And then sadly, I didn't pick up another Zelda game until the late 90s. I remember I was at a friend's house and she was playing her Nintendo 64, and I was like, "What are you playing? That looks really cool." She goes, "Oh, this is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time." And I was like, that looks awesome. I haven't played a Zelda game since NES. So as a college graduation gift to myself, I went to GameStop, I bought a Nintendo 64 and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I had a ball. Ocarina of Time really solidified my sort of relationships with the characters and the lore of the story, and I really fell in love, even more deeper in love with the Legend of Zelda franchise after that. I did play Majora's Mask all the way through, and I did play Wind Waker all the way through, and I also played Twilight Princess all the way through. I didn't quite enjoy Skyward Sword as much. I got about 85% through before I kind of fell off of it, but I loved the story and the art style. In 2017, when the Switch was launched, I waited in line in very cold weather, very early in the morning at Target to grab a Switch because I didn't pre-order for some reason, and to grab the launch title, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I couldn't play it for like a few hours. I think I had to work for the entirety of the day, so it just sat there on my library shelf just mocking me, but I knew that as soon as it was 5 o'clock, I was ready to go. And not that I didn't enjoy the sort of linear gameplay of the previous Zelda games, Breath of the Wild was really special because it brought back that feeling of exploration, adventure that the first game really nailed. Again, they dropped you off in the middle of the map with no tutorial, no nothing, and just said, "Go play." And I loved that. The thing about Breath of the Wild that was so wonderful is that it rewarded you for exploring instead of punishing you. I know that some of the earlier Zelda games, in particular, some of the really linear Zelda games, that if you went out to explore instead of doing the main storyline, the game would really try to steer you back into that storyline, and it would kind of punish you for exploring, when in Breath of the Wild, it was the complete opposite experience. A lot of my gameplay was centered around just messing around and exploring instead of actually doing the main story. I think I played for close to 100 hours before I actually finished the main storyline because I was so busy looking at things and going to find things. And like I would be playing and going, I'm going to go to the next divine beast. I'm going to go to that town. This is what we're doing right now. And I would be running across the map and be like, what's that? And then get distracted for a few hours, either like fighting enemies or exploring some shrine that I would have to do a quest to get in. It was just so beautifully distracting. So I thought I would say my final goodbyes and love letter to Breath of the Wild by exploring my only completed save file. Of course, we can always play Breath of the Wild whenever we want because it's not going away. But since Tears of the Kingdom's coming out, that'll probably garner much of my attention for the next few years, and I just want to mess around in Breath of the Wild just a little bit and, you know, just love it a little bit. I haven't opened this file in years, I don't think. So, because I kind of fell off when I beat the game, which was one of the only things I was really disappointed in when I played Breath of the Wild is how much didn't change when I actually completed the storyline. So I wish that I had a chance to like do extra stuff. So here's all these save points after I've beat the game. I don't know why there are so many. I must have just messed around a little bit. So the last time I opened this was 2018. Wow. Oh, wow. So these are all the places I've gone and steps I've taken. That's fascinating. So I know the first place I wanted to revisit was the Rideau Village because this is my favorite place probably in all of Breath of the Wild, mostly because I love the Rideau people in Zelda, and I also love this theme so much. It's so beautiful. Look at this cute one little coming right here. So cute. Hi. I'm busy right now. Okay, Molly. But if you follow me, I'll tell you a story. Oh, okay. Anyway, I love this music because it's the original theme from The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, the Dragon Roost Islands. And that was one of my favorite jams in all of The Legend of Zelda. That was where the Rideau people were introduced. And it was just such a bop when I was playing it. And now this version of it is just so lovely and gorgeous. She walks really slow. I don't think I have the patience to wait for Molly. She's going real slow, to be honest. I remember opening the game and coming out of this Shrine of Resurrection and then just seeing this opening scene where it is so unbelievably gorgeous and special, and it gave you an idea of the vastness of the landscape and the vastness of the game, and it just was overwhelming and encouraging at the same time because you're like, well, where do I go? And the thing I love most about the game is where, if you can see it, you could probably get to it. And if you can't get to it, like if you don't have enough stamina, you can make a stamina potion and climb all the way up there. It was just such a beautiful idea to just have this game be mostly about exploration, because that's what I spent the almost entirety of my gameplay doing. Well, that and trying to fight monsters and being really satisfied when I could take down, you know, somebody who could one-shot me before. I found that to be incredibly satisfying because at the beginning of the game, you're pretty weak. And if you aren't used to the combat, you don't know how to fight. And coming back either more like highly powered or, you know, knowing a little more or having more powerful weapon, you can take down that enemy that like one-shotted you before, and it's so satisfying. I love Hateno. It's raining pretty hard right now here in Hateno, but I love this village. This is one of my favorite like musical themes in the entire game. It's just so chill and it seems so relaxing. Look at the kids running home from the rain. So cute. But This was a really good place to relax if you had, you know, just come from like a lot of heavy combat or like I just done a Divine Beast. Apparently you can put the chickens in there and but you can't take them out after you put them in. I've never tried that before. Wait, pick up. No. Wait, there. Okay. Oh, you can get an egg. Egg. All right, cool, cool, cool. Okay, pick up. Oh no, I can pick that one up. But I can't pick them up once they're up here. That's finished. Well, that's weird. All right, and of course, I couldn't do a Breath of the Wild video without visiting my favorite place, Gerudo Town. Gerudo Town's so cool, and you can't go in without wearing this outfit, or at least parts of this outfit, because men aren't supposed to enter, or Vos aren't supposed to enter, but you know, we have to dress as a Vi. And it's just so, it does a really good job representing the spirit of the Gerudo people. I really love it. And one of my favorite characters is the little Gerudo. I think she's adorable. What's her name? Oh, Riju. Like, come on. She's the cutest. Of course, why would I not visit the Korok Forest? It is so iconic. I mean, Wind Waker vibes, sort of like come back. Look, Hestu. Can we just talk about how cute Hestu is? Like, please, please, the cutest. I also just have to say that Vanaboris was actually the first Divine Beast I did in the game. I didn't like go in any particular order. I know that the typical order that a lot of people play these Divine Beasts are like they go to, I think they go to this one first. They go to Ruta and then they go to maybe the one in Eldon, like the Rudania. Then maybe they go to this one over here in Meadow. And then they go to Vanaboris, but I did not go in that order. And I almost quit the game when I was like fighting this Divine Beast with like maybe 5 hearts. It was so hard, but I mean I beat the game, so hey. I really like Goron Village also, but the last place I want to visit is actually the Zora's domain. Let's just admire it. Look how beautiful this is. Just look at it. Ah, it's gorgeous. Ah, it's gorgeous. There's Sidon. Daddy's Sidon. There were so many, like, people thirsting over this character. I get it, right? I get it, but it was so funny, cute. Look how tall he is compared to Link. He's actually pretty large. I didn't really, like, put it together that he was so tall and giant. I love Zora's Domain and Ocarina of Time, but this takes the cake of just how beautiful and grand and just impressive it is. Like, look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'll probably spend the next couple of days just kind of going through places, reminiscing, maybe playing a little bit through the DLC, and just enjoying how magical of an experience this game has been for me. Even though it came out in 2017, it holds up so well, and I really think that it is hands down my favorite game that I've ever played. It was challenging enough to where I felt like I didn't need to rage quit, but also I felt like I was a little bit challenged, especially in the beginning portions of the game. Nintendo has just revealed today that Tears of the Kingdom will contain dungeons, so I'm very, very excited about that. I did miss dungeons in Breath of the Wild. That was my only kind of gripe with it. I don't mind the weapons breaking. I don't mind the open world gameplay, but I did miss full established dungeons, so I'm looking forward to that in Tears of the Kingdom. What's your favorite memory of Breath of the Wild? And was this your first Zelda game? And if wasn't, let me know. Just let me a comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed reminiscing with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.